So I also wanted to start with to tell that there's a meeting every week. So it's on the Friday evening at 7 in Amsterdam time, and on the Saturday morning from 10:30 Amsterdam time. It's every week. And then there is also the possibility, if you want to call me. Just call me. Just there's no charge for that, for a small talk. And then if you want to talk some longer, then we can do a one-to-one. So you can talk a bit longer. We do it by Zoom or maybe Skype. That's also possible. And send me an email and then we'll set a time. Okay. This is everything. This is everything. It's already. The meeting is not a special one. It's only meeting and talking. And that what's talked about can be anything, but also that's not important to understand or to take home and do something with that. It's talking. But underneath, there's something else going on. This is not about the content. It's energetic. The content can make some concepts, maybe some not that sure again. That can happen. But it's more about the energetic that's happening underneath. It's shooting holes in an idea. And it's a story. It's a story, but there's something when there's using words, then there's talking in the story. And there's shooting holes in those that whole concept and belief about I'm here. This is my life. I have to make my life work. And how will I do that? I can do that with if I have enough money, how can I be more comfortable in my life? How can I be happy? Because it's when there's I'm here and this is my life, there's subtly or stronger that feeling it's moving away from pain and it's trying to feel comfortable. When there's me, there seems to be a loss. There's something we are looking at ourselves, so it's like apart from what's happening. And that can feel like a loss and like there's something not good enough. I'm not good enough. There's something missing. I have to make it right. I have to fix it. Something is wrong, or somebody else is wrong, and I have to blame because it's because of that I feel awful. So there's also living in time, like somebody saying something to you, and it's like there's pain or there's sadness, and then it's thinking, oh, it's because of that what he or she is saying or not doing, maybe, or doing. Living in time is also living in consequences, living with responsibility, living with guilt, because everything is connected. It seems to be connected and it's happening to you. When there's me, everything is happening to you. It seems like I'm the center and everything is happening to me and I'm the most important. So I everything should happen in a way that I feel more comfortable. There's always busy with how can I do that? How can I ask from other people that they look at me and do something that makes me feel more comfortable or happy? This is talking about there's no one. There's already no one. There's nothing going on about there should be not a me or something like that. There's already no me. Me is could say, it's a construct of that feeling that there seems to be something missing. And when there's me and I have a free will, that gives a feeling of control and maybe someday it will be better. This is not about feeling better or something going on, trying to feel more comfortable or happy, trying to get liberation or things like that. There's no liberation. It's already free. It's already free as it is. But this is not always happy. It's everything. So there can be feelings, there can be the table. There's no center. So it's not about you or me. There's no you or me. The body isn't real. Nothing is real. So it's one soup, you could say. And there's tables and streets, feelings. Nothing is happening to something. It's happening. It's on its own. It's very quick, changing. And there's no one inside. So there's no inside, but there's also no outside. So when there's in the room, there's no outside. We think, yeah, outside the room, there's the street and all that. It's a remembering of a street that can be there. But it's very literally what is. Walls. And it's very simple, very tiny, very simple. It's sitting, a hand, light, a voice. Nothing has any meaning. That's also something humans can do, that attach meaning to what's going on and making it into something, and then it's going to be something important. And because me sees everything as important because it has to survive, it has to make its life or her life work. So everything is important or unimportant. And so there's always the relation with me, with I. It's about you, it's about me. And when they're saying no, there is already no me, there's no center, it's not happening to you, it's happening. That doesn't see that there is that whole identity, and that being busy with that all day, like how to deal with this and what's going on here and how do I feel and what is that neighbor is doing and all that. There's no connection. There's only what is happening. There can be somebody shouting. That's what's happening. And it's not about saying that. So I can see some people talking about this, and then they're saying, yeah, everything is what's happening. And it seems like it's when there's something happening on top of that, they're saying to yourself, or advising maybe even, like, oh, but that's what's happening, saying that to yourself. It's a new construct. It's dealing with what's going on. Maybe it doesn't feel good, and then saying it's what's happening, that makes it a little bit more comfortable. This is no escape. So there's nothing going on trying to make it into something else. It's what it is. So there can be pain or anger or a table. It's not about you. So this is also not talking about this is going on about it with you or not you. There's not recognizing that there is someone. So there's not talking to you or trying to explain or to give something. There's no agenda. There's talking. It's just coming like that. And it's the same over there. It's the same everywhere. So there's no difference between Rose and somebody else. It seems like that. That can also be made up, that there's someone there and she has no me, something like that, maybe. And there's maybe a life more free than I have and all that. So I want to listen how she does that or something like that. There's already freedom. So there's no hope for something else because that what is happening is already complete. It's that what is happening. And it can be anything. It's moving the head in a certain way or talking. It's going. It's not you doing that. It's what's happening. It's life going. So wanting is, it can want something, but it doesn't have any influence. It seems like it's very important. It's life doesn't see anyone. There's nothing going on. It's energetic, so there's energetic going on things. And everything seems very real and solid when there's me, because I am being outside and then looking at it and then assuming everything is solid and real. And then there's hearing this, like, no, nothing is real. It's an appearance. Circumstances are not real. They're there, and then something else going on. It seems like when there's circumstances, it's relating, and then being busy with how to deal with that. It's already, there's something else already. So there's nothing to deal with. That's the simplicity. It's what is. It's so simple. It's sitting. It's a wall, walling. There's nothing going on about how to deal with it, or there are no relations. I was saying that on the top of my YouTube film, and some people understood that there are no relations, so there are no relation with men or women, and that would be very easy. Now, there's no relation with anything, not with with people, but also not with circumstances or mothers or anything, houses. This is nothing is mine. Feelings are not mine. Thoughts are not mine. They're thoughting. It's happening somewhere in space. It's happening like that. Nothing is mine or yours. I was so convinced that it's my thoughts, it's my feeling, it's my body. I have to take care of that. It's so convincing. It's not wrong. No, but it's very convincing. It's so embodied, that belief. So it can be so the only way. And then suddenly there's hearing, no, it's nothing is yours. There's no one. So there can be feelings, but it's not yours. It's a feeling can happen. And there's the floor. Nothing is more important than anything else. So there's no liberation or enlightenment or all that. That's only in the story. There can be an idea about what that is, and it should be that. In the end, that's the end of what I'm trying to find. There's nothing to find. It's already like that. This is paradise. This is unconditional love. Tabling, treeing, facing this face or another one. It's that already. So we can talk about that. And maybe there are questions. And when there are questions in the story, there's something going on in the story, then there are questions in the story. So we can talk about that too. Oh, there's somebody saying, me is a construct that claims ownership of like my life. Yeah, it's life. Yeah, it's very strong, that belief. And when that belief is there, it's seen like that. It's confirmed, and it's very strong and embodied. And then there's questioning that. That's the only thing what happens here. It's not saying this is the truth or something like that. It's a suggestion, like, oh, there's another possibility. Not in the story. It has nothing to do with the story. Oh, is there something else than the story, what's about my life and circumstances and all? Yes, there is. Treeing, flowering. Yeah, that's life. Life is that. So it's already, how can it be wrong? It's everything. It cannot be wrong. No, it's everything. That's the unconditional love. It's everything. It doesn't matter what it is, pain or a certain feeling or watch, or it's that, oh wow, it's amazing. That doesn't mean that all the time you're, when there's no me, that oh, but in a subtle way, it's a wonder about, oh, what's going on. And that the seriousness is lost. Everything is empty, you could say. It seems like it's solid and real and really happening to me, and the pain can be very strong, or sadness, or another feeling. Nothing is yours. It's a feeling, not by anyone, not because of anything. It's a feeling, can happen, a sensation somewhere, a thought, a lot of thoughts. Yeah? Life is light in this way. It's light. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's everything. I don't know if it's light. It's also dark. Yeah. It's not heavy. No, it's more like that when there's that feeling I am here and I have to make my life work, then they're starting something like I have to, everything has to go my way. And when it's not, then there's a problem or there's something wrong and it should be different. And how can I do that? So there's a constant struggle to put it in your way. You can say that. That's the trouble. That's the heaviness or the, the suffering in a way. Life doesn't see you. It's energetic, like that, without meaning. It's just what's happening. Can be anything. No meaning. It's huge when there's no meaning or no purpose or all that. It's nowhere to go. It's this, a hand. It's that simple. It's amazing. And you can't do it. You can't say to yourself, oh, it's my hand. Oh, it's this. Because that's making it, trying to make it happen, trying to change what's going on. When there's a looking at yourself, then that's what's going on. It's great openness. But openness, I don't know. It's looking at it and saying it's openness. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's openness. It's everything. Yeah. It's so difficult to say because sometimes it's saying like maybe they're saying it's openness, and then somebody is thinking like, oh, it doesn't feel like that here. It feels like it's very, very dense and very tension, and I don't feel openness. But that's, there will always be something going on. When there's me, there's always a doubt like, oh, there's something not yet there. There's, oh, I don't have that, and it's hearing in that way. That's me. Me is so strong and coloring everything in the way like I don't have that. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, this is not me. Oh, I should do that's that construct of me. There's something wrong. It's not yet there. It's missing. It's a misunderstanding, but it's so embodied. So you can't undo that. Something like that. Sometimes there are so many concepts or beliefs, and can that can follow, some concepts or beliefs can fall away or being not that strong. But me, that seems to be that center, that feeling there's something wrong, can be so subtle and clever.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Hello.
This morning I was listening to the radio. It's a long time I don't listen to. And it was, they were talking about the war, possible war. And I felt fear, or there was fear, but I realized that I use this message to protect me, because I start thinking, it's just word, it's just a radio, it's nothing real, but it's just to protect me, just to don't feel fear. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, but I think that's also a construct. There can be those thoughts. No, but also those thoughts, just they happen. They don't, you're not doing that. So it's not making it into something else. It seems like that, I can understand. But there's only thoughts. They don't go anywhere. So it's not you making it into something else. I understand what you say, because when there's in that beginning, it's saying like, oh, people say, oh, it's just what's happening. So that's a construct. But in the same time, that's what I was saying. But in the same time, it's only thoughts. So it's both.
Like now, I'm just talking.
Yeah.
It's just talking.
Yeah. 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 And not just thoughting. There can be those thoughts like, oh, that's also, this is just what's happening and all that. That it's only thoughts.
But the question I had this morning was really, is the war real, or not? It's just really words coming out from the radio.
No, there's there's information about something. Yeah, that's what's going on. It's very literally, it's information what's going on. Yeah. That's it. Information. Doesn't mean it's real. Nothing is real. This information doesn't mean anything. It's just talking about something. Can be war, can be the neighbors. It doesn't matter. That's so strange, because we're so into meaning and content, and this means something, and this is not meaning anything. Yeah.
But my grandmother talked to me about the war.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was what happened when she was young or younger. And so when I hear about the war, I can say it can happen. It could happen. And the fear,
but
is rising.
That's a whole idea about there's countries and there's wars and there's all that. There can be a memory of situations with what's going on. That can be telling about that. But that's a memory what seems to be real. Yeah. Then that's everything. Doesn't mean that it's a war or all that. It's that memory.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, there's a message like, if there's a bombing and we're going to security room, maybe, I don't know. There can be all kind of ideas about what will be going on and what we have to do and all that. Maybe you're like freezing. I don't know. I don't know. You can't say. You can't say. And it's very literally, we're making it into a story of what's going on and all the time, and a lot of information, and we have to choose and we have to do something, because it's always about me wanting to survive and going in the best way. And there's nothing is real, and there's no one choosing or doing anything. There's no one. So situations can be anything. It's not about you. When there's information or looking in the news or all that, it's always about you and always about other people and all that, and how bad it is or how nice or all that. This is not about awful or nice. It's what's happening. And that's so strange, because so normally we are like, oh, but this is awful. How can you say it's not awful? That it's what it is. So there can be pain or there can be a feeling, but it's not your feeling. And when it's your feeling and it's your situation, and then there's the suffering. Well, when that's not there, it's what's going on. That's completely different. The suffering is that there's someone and it's happening to, and then it's awful or it's bad or it should be different and all that. Trying to change it, maybe. We are living in a war zone. No, there is no we. There is no we. And nothing is real, so there's no war zone. What is a war zone? It's a room, there's a floor. It's very literally a street. And there can be houses that are broken down. Yeah, and it's very literally. It's not making any conclusions or something like that. It's exactly what it is. We are so into looking at it and making it, and this is right and this is wrong and it should be, or those people are bad and those people are good, all that. This is completely out of the story. We're not used to talk like that because everything is so into good and bad and awful and nice and all that, right and wrong. And here's saying, no, it's not about right and wrong. It's what it is. There's nothing wrong. Does it mean there's no pain? Of course there's pain. Well, for anyone. It's everything. So it's not denying anything, but it's not putting on top of what's going on some conclusion or some explanation or some meaning, or that's not happening here.
Roes?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think about the message of we are the infinite, formless source of all the forms which arise from this infinite, yes, formless, divine, I don't know what.
Sounds a bit complicated. I don't understand that. It's there's no we, so that's already something that's different. It seems like I am that. No, I'm not that. There's no Rose. That's a construct already. So there's no, that's making it into I am everything. I am. No, it makes it different, and then it's still about me somewhere. I'm bigger than only this person and all that. It's this is more radical. That it's saying no. There's no Rose or somebody else. There's no individuals. It's one. There's only table, a face. Very simple.
Yes, but I suppose this message talks about we or I, but there's just one.
But
one.
why then say we are? If it's not it can be talking about there's only one.
But perhaps
It's not.
I said wrong.
That's what you
Not
said.
we are, but there's just
Oh yeah,
one.
okay. Oh yeah,
There's
okay.
just one, and this
Yeah.
one is formless, and this one is not. It's not possible to speak about it, but from this one comes all the forms, and all the forms are the body of Francesca, the body of Rose, or the table, or whatever appearing. Yes, appearing. But this one is like nothing, or it's like everything. I don't know. But this is just like two aspects that is just one. But I don't know. But,
there's one. Yeah, what I see, what I said.
Many people, many speakers talks about this oneness.
Yeah.
And when I listen to them, I'm not. I don't feel it's wrong. It's something that is vaster. It's more. It's not contracted in this body, or this, I don't know, individual experience, but it's I don't know. I just wondered what
but it's
thought.
difficult because when it's what you say. There's only one. That's, I agree with that in that sense, and that it's it's an appearance, and it's I wouldn't infinite. I don't know, but it's an appearance, and there's an appearance of things, and it's nothing, and in the same time it's everything. So it's not appearing from nothing. It's the same. It's the same. So nothing and everything, it's together. It's in the same time. Yeah, it's a bit strange to say, but because when there's I don't know if that's in the message what you're saying, but when they're saying it's appearing from oneness, then there seems to be time, and then there's no time. So it's it's together, and that's something we can't imagine because we're so thinking in time that something is the start, and then it starts like that, and then saying no, it's one. So there's nothing and everything is one already. But it's talking about something, and there can be a lot of different talkings, and maybe it seems the same, but yeah, it's not only that. It can be, some words can be the same. I don't know. But it's not only that, it's also in the rest of what's being talked about, it's subtly feeling if there's talking about individuals or someone, or it's completely free. I don't know. The freedom is that there are no individuals, there can be bodies, yeah, but there's no continuation. Whoa, I don't know if that's in that message. Hey, Sophie.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hello.
So continuation happens only in the mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
We
it
want
can't
to
be
continue. That's because it's death when there's no continuation. How can I be? Yeah. Yeah.
But you cannot explain that. It's impossible. No. Impossible to explain it, like how that works, because how to explain that? I mean,
well, in a way, it's for me. It's very logical. It's like when there's no me, when there's no time, how can there be continuation? So there can be people say, yeah, there's apparent time, so there's apparent evaluation. Yeah, in the story, of course, there's everything in the story. There can be anything, but in the same time, there's no, there's not. It seems sometimes it seems like people use apparent to make it a little bit more real. I don't know. That's a feeling. And
but
there's
the
nothing happening. Sorry. Yeah.
But the no continuation is because there is no before and there is no after, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not busy with it like all the time, like there is no continuation, because
no,
that's what I mean. You
yeah.
can't.
Yeah. No, you can't grasp that. It's like no. It's that when there's talking about this, then those words come. But normally in daily life, no. No.
It's incredible, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's
When it's lived, I don't know how can you say it, then it's embodied, I don't know, it's some way of speaking about it. It's lived, and then it makes everything less serious or light or something like that. It's in that sense, it's sharing. There's no that, like no time. Yeah, but in a subtle, energetic way, not in words or so. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually the opposite of trying to make sense. It's like not making it doesn't make sense. It's like the other way. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't make sense. So in conversation, I don't try to make so much sense sometimes.
No. No, there's no discussion about it or trying to share that in words. No, most of the time. Maybe in meetings it can be, because it suddenly happens and there's an openness for that, so there's coming those words. But in normal daily life, most of the time there's no talking about this, but the sharing is there all the time. It's there, because that's the energetic part. That's also the sharing here in this meeting. There's a sharing of when there's no meeting someone, there's something else going on. There's something, and that's energetic. You can't grasp that, but yeah.
I can share that I had last week like a conversation with someone, really nice conversation, and I don't know what happened, but at the end, I don't know what happened, but it was just like, you can't explain that. There was just like nothing going on. It was amazing. It was like so subtle.
Yeah.
Everything the same, and the stillness was just that it was, you can't grasp it. It was just like, and I didn't know anymore who was who. It was just like Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
very subtle, very very simple, very subtle.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah. Yeah.
soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing did matter. I mean, this or that. It was amazing. Yeah. No
Yeah.
distance. It was clear. No distance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Mm.
But very simple. So yeah.
Mm.
then
Mm.
then you don't have to explain it anymore because it has been seen. You can, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's yeah. Yeah. The explaining is in that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an explaining. No, it's something else. Yeah.
So the fact that you're doing it, that you're talking about it, is incredible because it's. I mean, how? No, I'm always thinking like, how do you do that? Because it's.
Yeah. Yeah. And then suddenly it's like, oh, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So sweet. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Rose,
Yeah.
when you say this in the story is just words,
Yeah.
just words.
Mhm.
Okay. It's nothing but words, like a fable.
No, there can be, and there can be some concepts, and when there's talking about that, there can be like, oh, I didn't question that ever. So maybe there's a unraveling that concepts in that story. That can happen in those with words or something like that, or making something clear. I don't know, something, but that's in a way superficial. That energetic is much stronger. Also because it's not noticed. So there's something, it's like sound, you can't resist, it can't, I don't know, it's suddenly it's going in a different way. Yeah.
No, I didn't understand. You meant the concepts are also thoughts.
No, the concepts, there can be some concepts or ideas or beliefs about time or free will or all that, and then suddenly there's a questioning about that, and then there's like, oh, it can be not that strong, that conviction, or that's not that strong anymore. That can be like when with words and talking about it. But what's more subtle and I think also more stronger is that unconditional love, that unconditional part. It's like there's nothing wrong, there's no one. That's because there's no answer, there's nowhere to go. It's not only saying that, but it's felt like, oh, it's there's no answer, something. And that's underneath that, the words, something like that.
Yes, but when what you call story is just I don't know, like words together, put together. They
Yeah.
construct a history
Yeah,
story.
concepts are also part of the story, of course. So in that
Yeah.
sense, you don't need to unravel or things like that because it's a story. Yeah, of course, that's true. So that's also talking in the story. But most of the time, talking is in the story.
Mm. Mm.
Not always. They were saying there's no time, then what's that?
But the story is nothing real.
No,
It's not real.
no. But it doesn't mean there's nothing happening. It's an appearance of tables and streets and all that. But the story is making relations and meaning and all that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what is this, like, making relations? Like, we make it, how do we make relation? Like in the mind, like by thinking about people, or like having the stories? How do we do that? Like,
Why do you do that now?
yeah, what do we do? I mean, what is
Yeah.
relationship?
Well, when there's me, when I am here, then I'm seeing somewhere else also as someone. And then
Yes.
and there's living in time. So there's consequences. So there's a behavior becomes very important. Or what somebody's saying something and there's feeling pain. It's because of that and you shouldn't do that because that hurts me. And then there's a relation between everything, between what's going on and between those people and blaming, and it's an endless story. And when there's no one, how can there be a relation with anything? It's not happening to me, it's happening. So there's never also not with circumstance. Nothing is happening to me or to someone else. It's not seeing that. So it's happening somewhere. It's even not real, but that's something else, because then you can also say, yeah, it happened, but it's not real. So that makes it into also something different, because it can be feel really like pain. It's a story. I can, when there's something, yeah, it's painful, and then saying, oh, but it's just a story and all that. Well, yeah, that's something else. It's painful. That can be pain, but it's not my pain or because of something. That my and because of that story. That's a lot of time. That's the suffering. Trying to make it right, or trying to change, or all that. God.
Yeah. So it sounds like this, like all the stories that we make, isn't it? Like we make
Yeah,
stories from, and we call it relationship.
yeah. When there's me, everything becomes important, because then I have to survive. I have to make my life work. I have to whatever. There's something lost, so I have to find someone to love, or I need love, or all that need and all that is going on. So there's everybody and everything becomes important, or something is unimportant and this is important, and all that. Always about me. So there's that strong, and it's so embodied, that strong need to and searching for love or happiness,
Yeah.
moving away from pain or awful feelings, all that.
Right.
Yeah, it's endless. It's endless, because that feeling that it's about me, and that's that's something going on. Like there's something wrong. I'm not good enough, and when that's shown in the world or in with other people, all that, it's trying to do something in the world or in with people, all that, and it's a misunderstanding, but it's so embodied. It's so the normal way of how people go or relate with everything.
Yeah. But
They're
even
saying there's no relation. It's not only like with people, but also not with circumstances or houses or
but
anything.
would you say like there is relationship, but there is no relation?
No, there's what's happening.
Yeah.
There can be someone in the room. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When that person is not in the room, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Strange. It's not saying that to someone. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're here or not. No, that's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, can you have still sometimes like you can think of somebody like all day long? You can still have that. It can still happen.
But all day long, there
Yeah.
can
Okay.
be
All right.
thinking of someone. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And also, even without relation, the stories keep going on. We talk only in stories, so that's a little bit like the
Mm.
stories make the relationship, but we cannot like without stories, even if there is no one. So that's a little bit
No, the
difficult.
story is more practical things most of the time. It's not so
Yeah,
much about what was going on there or how do I feel or all those things.
right.
That's not so much. No, that's not happening. But still, there can be. Oh, I'm thinking of her. Oh, how is she? Oh, well, we'll have a conversation, and just like that. That can be. Can also be anger.
Of course. Could be anger.
What is this? Ah! Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
normal also.
Anger
And
is
then
always
after a while, it's good. Huh?
the anger is always such a big thing. It's a big deal.
Yeah, sure. That's why I'm saying it's like, oh my God, it's in the relations also. You shouldn't do that.
I used
Can
to
be
be
angry.
very afraid from people who used to be very angry. Now it changed, but when I was younger, I was very afraid. You know, somebody get angry.
Ah, yeah. A lot of people. I had that. Yeah, sure. A lot of people. When
Amazing.
I was angry, my father got very gray. So I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. Maybe he's dying. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's
Like,
so many things about that. Oh, there's so many ideas and beliefs about certain emotions or how to
yeah.
deal with or how to survive in a way in the end, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. We're creating such stories. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Yeah, but that's you can't do anything else. It's not wrong. It's that's so strong. Those stories. It's just a lot of things going on. In the
Yeah.
end, it's only thoughts.
Yeah.
Maybe there seems to be a meaning in it. Well, it doesn't matter if there are a lot of stories. It doesn't matter. It's because you don't want that because it feels like it's not free and it's
Yeah.
always
True.
busy and
True.
exhausting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not wrong to have to be in the story because then it seems like, oh, she's still in the story. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No, that's why not? There can be stories and busy with that.
So it's interesting because many things changed, and I had like very like for a long time quiet, more quiet, you know, like in my head, and suddenly I all came, not all, but much came back. So I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's not good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so energetic. It can be for a long time, it can be nothing going on, and then suddenly, bang, it's going for a time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be. Here too, that there can be something going on, that there's strong emotions and there's a story can come with that. And then wow, that's like, oh my God, and there's a little bit in it that maybe that's me going on, I don't know. And then after a while it's gone again. But wow, that's can go on.
Yeah.
And be so energetic. Is I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So it doesn't matter when there's nothing going on about this is like Rose, when there's no me, that doesn't happen anymore. That makes it into something special.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Like
And
how
there's nothing going on. When there's talking with friends and talking about nou yeah, whatever, mothers or whatever. Oh, how's your mother? And yeah, how come you like that? And oh, what I met, and then I was talking about a friend, and I was so angry. Yeah, just talking like that. Yeah, it's very normal. So it's not about I'm not talking about my life anymore. No,
right? Oh
no,
no.
it's everything. Yeah,
I'm very spatial. I don't talk about my life anymore. I'm
yeah.
not angry anymore.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. There's for the so-called separate self, non-dualism is a crazy message. Yes, it is. There are not so many people want to listen to this because it's so completely not in the story. Saying there's no one, that's already strange. And then there's no time. Come on, there's time. I can show my pictures and all that. That's so convincing. That's not even questions most of the time. So people don't want to listen. No. Yeah. Yeah. But no time. It's so crazy. We are so into consequences and like when it's happened before, it's because of that. And why? Oh, there's so much about that. And it's so quick. It seems so logical. And then hearing it's a construct, it's filling in. It's a fantasy about what's going on. It's like, oh my God. And still, oh, maybe there's something in it. Some people coming to these meetings and other people don't. Of course, most people don't. Yeah. Mm. This is about being in love, not someone, but it's being in love. It's not about liking things but it's being in love. It's the love of everything. It doesn't matter what it is. But we confuse it with that then you're liking it or things like that. No, there can be, oh God, but it's still being in love somewhere. Yeah. Someone who's really in the story and busy with that. And there's just listening or maybe saying something. I don't know. There's a love for that too, of course. It's unconditional. It's unconditional. Not Rose or something. It has nothing to do with Rose. It's life. It's already like that. And on top of that, that me is like, no, it isn't. It should be like this and should be like that. And when that's less and less, maybe, then it's like, oh, yeah, it is unconditional. It's already like that. It always has been like that. Oh, that's freedom.
I was I was thinking about that unconditional part when it's unconditional, and then people think about war and all that kind of stuff that is, very heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it's like that it's unconditional, that it's free to be what it is. It's also free to be like stuff that is really very difficult and like war and evil. It's just free to be that as well.
Yeah. Well, there's no evil that
Yeah, okay.
there's
I
a
was saying,
feeling, maybe an awful feeling like
yeah,
pain and all that. And because we don't want it, it's bad or
yeah,
awful,
yeah,
all that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the strange thing is when there's nothing going on about it, there can be pain or a feeling all that or all that. But it's not awful, it's that feeling. So in that sense, there's still that unconditional love. That's so strange. Because we're so used to look at it and then divide it into good and bad or
Right,
awful
right.
and nice. And when there's not that dividing like that, it's what it is. So that's already, it's unconditional. It's love. Yeah. What, not the love we personal, we think about love like, oh,
Oh,
I like you and all that.
right.
That's completely something else. It's not a feeling.
Yeah,
That's something else. It's aliveness. It's also really little children. Look at really little children. They don't see death or they don't see war or all that. They just play or whatever. Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they feel the energy. Like if there is energy that is very like
yeah,
yeah,
can be. Yeah, of course.
yeah,
There's also can be sadness, for
yeah.
sure. Or hunger. Yeah, sure.
I like it. It's not good or bad. That it just is. I like it.
Yeah, it's already hunger. And then on top of that, yeah, it's a word. And then it makes it into, then it makes it even more solid and real. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
hmm yeah. It's like being in love. Beautiful. Yeah, it is. It is. It's being in love. It's a love for everything. It's love. It's unconditional love. So it's not a feeling. That's when you're in love in a person. That's something else. Well, it's it can be subtle. It's most of the time it's subtle, and sometimes it's strong, of course. Well, yeah, it's being in love. But it's not me being in love. It's life. Is that? It's unconditional love. Everything is unconditional love. Treeing, facing. It's that face. Oh, yeah. When there's people talking, there's not thinking, oh, there's still a me going on. God, that's awful. There's just talking with someone, and maybe it's talking in the story of someone has a lot of, yeah, that's just that. Not being busy with that, or no. I was thinking, oh God, what boring. I don't know, it's just normal, like everyone can be just like that. Or enjoying the story, because some people can talk in stories like so exciting. It's nice to listen. Can be like that. It doesn't matter. It's different. Yeah. And it's not so serious. Nothing is serious. So there's a joy of what's going on. And it's what's also what there's nothing going on how to behave. That's lost too. So that behaving, that now in that sense that Roes behaving, it's free. It's not in a certain way. It can be silly or I don't know, play or painful or anything, but there's no behaving or looking at yourself and thinking, oh, I shouldn't do that, or oh, what is going on? There can be still patterns. I don't know. Well, there's no one busy with that. So there's a freedom in that too. It can be anything. And there's the comparing. What also is very, very strong with me is there's a comparing to maybe to before, how I was before, how I will be later on, comparing with someone else. And there's no comparing, there's no one. That's freedom. It's not wrong comparing. That's not what I mean. That can go on.
Rose?
Yeah.
Is it? It's also not about trusting, like some people say, trusting life or trust or.
No, it's something you have to do. I don't
Yeah.
trust. There's trust or distrust, not trust. That's
No.
also too. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing going on about trust. No, you don't know. That's something else. You can't trust. Yeah, you can do that, but it's you don't
Yeah.
know.
I can trust it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the you don't know what's going on. That's aliveness. That's it's just jumping in it, and in a way that you could say, because you never know what will happen. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. It's
Like some
new.
say,
Sorry. Yeah.
like some say, trusting that everything is okay. Whatever. I mean, when I was young, when I was younger, much younger, I didn't have words for it, but I had a feeling like that no matter what happens, I was really much younger, and I feel like that no matter what happens is all okay, or it's all like I didn't have words. So, but in my experience, it was like so that's what I could say. Like it felt like trusting, but it's not really trusting.
No, you can say in a way like I wouldn't say okay, but it doesn't matter what is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
It's
right.
not saying nothing matters, but
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because then that's what's happening. Yeah, okay, can be pain. Yeah, for a while. Yeah, can well there's no big deal in that
yeah.
way.
There's like what is happening, and then dealing with it. That's
No,
all.
it's not dealing with it. It's
Or
it's
responding,
there.
or
It's there, and then there's that emotion, or maybe how yeah, there's something I don't know, hunger. I don't know. It's I can't say. It's just what's going on. There can be pain, or and then that's but yeah. And then there's the table. It's not about Rose and by me or that. When that's not there, then really little children they're also not so like oh it's about me and all. No, it's what's happening, and then yeah, it's not
yeah.
okay or not okay. It's then that's what's going on. Yeah. It was funny. My son was saying to me, I was for a time when I was young, I was sleeping in a bed what was too small, and I was like, "Oh my God, why didn't you say that?" And he said, "Yeah, that didn't come up. It was just that." And then I did my knees a bit like that, and then I
Yeah,
got sleep. It's like that. Like, oh my God. Yeah, it can be like, yeah, it's.
yeah. Judgment, stories, like
Yeah. There can be a whole story with that and all that. Well, it was a funny answer. I thought, like, oh God, that's children. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
But
And
sometimes I get criticized, like when I'm a little bit like this. So people are like, yeah, you should do something, or
yeah,
why?
of course. And that can be a whole story with that. Well, it's more that situation, like how children do that. It's more that. It doesn't mean it's all right or something like that, but it's more like, oh, it didn't. There's nothing arising about I should do something about it or all that. No, it's just that. It's
Yeah,
funny. And there can be something like, oh no, well, and I'm just saying it. It's more an example of how
yeah,
it can be. It's not the right way. No. Yeah. And there can be pain and going to the doctor, or there can be pain and I don't know, sitting. It's different. It's what's happening. It's not me doing that. It's what's going on. And we think it's a story of my life and how do I do that. But there's no continuation. That's so it's heard and it's forgotten again because that's so the normal way of my body is here and how can I do things. No, the body isn't real. It's not always there. Oh my God, that's amazing.
No, we tend to think that our stories are very important. That's part of it.
Ah, sure.
Very important.
Sure. And my story is not that strong anymore. It's also it's so clever. Oh my
It
God.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's always measuring. Always measuring.
Yeah, of course. It's yeah, but that's how it goes. You can't do any different. It's not
Yeah.
nothing is wrong. It's just like, oh my God, yeah, of course. It's going
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Who has a body? Yeah, there's no one. And also the body, there can be people, yeah, they're only bodies, but the bodies are also not real. So there can be seeing an arm. Well, yeah, that's that hand or a face like that. It's that's everything. There's no one. So and when there's no one, there's also or when there's no one, and everything is an appearance. So nothing is happening. There's only an appearance of streets and tables and faces and feelings, sounds. It's one. And that's the completeness of that sound or that face, or it's all complete in itself on its own. It's that and then something else and a glass or and that and a feeling. Nothing is mine. There are no centers. It's one. And there's subtly feelings, sounds, garden. No, not a garden. A plant. I don't know. Leaves. It's very simple and very ordinary also. It's already what's going on. There's nothing different and there will be nothing different. It's already, so there's no hope for something else. There's the story that seems to be very real and I'm living in the story and that's my life and how can I change that? Or I can looking for something that no me maybe anymore or no problems. And then suddenly it's going outside and then suddenly they're running for something and then suddenly there's no story, there's only running. It's already there. There's already no me. There's no one looking for things. It's what's happening already. That's the freedom, that it's already like that. It's already unconditional love. There's only unconditional love. It's aliveness in everything is aliveness. It's a couch, a stone, the wind. It's aliveness. That's the unconditional love. It's going nowhere. It is already. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Roes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Rose.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.